There's been a lot of debate among spiritualists, therapists, and hopeless romantics about, can twin flame relationship be toxic? At first glance, it seems like the perfect love story. Two souls destined to find each other throughout their lives. But behind this ethereal narrative lies a complex interplay of emotions, lessons, and challenges. The essence of twin flame carries a dichotomy with which we are all too familiar. On the one hand, there's the promise of a deep soul connection, a connection that transcends time, space, and lives. It's a level of connection that few can understand, let alone expect in their relationships. On the other hand, there's the challenge of managing a relationship so intense that it teeters on the brink of toxicity. It can feel like the universe is dividing you, and often the twin flame runner is behaving in ways you don't expect. This duality raises a crucial question. Could such a deep connection be harboring potential harm? In this video, we look at 5 key reasons why twin flame relationships can be toxic. When you encounter your twin flame, it's as if the universe has handed you a mirror, one that reflects not only your external appearance, but the deepest recesses of your soul. This mirror does not shy away from revealing the hidden corners of your psyche, the parts you might have veiled even from your own conscious awareness. Your twin flame acts as a catalyst, bringing to the surface unresolved issues, subconscious patterns, and internal conflicts. These might include deep-seated insecurities, unresolved trauma, or destructive habits that you've tucked away, hoping they might dissolve on their own. This person reflects your fears, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your deepest desires, mirroring not only what you are, but also what you can become. This intense mirroring can become toxic if not approached with mindfulness and a readiness to engage in self-growth. Seeing one's flaws and vulnerabilities laid bare can be unsettling, even painful. Without a strong sense of self and a commitment to personal development, this revelation can lead to a range of negative emotions, such as denial, resentment, or self-loathing. Imagine a scenario where every time you are with your twin flame, you are reminded of your struggles with trust due to past betrayals. Instead of recognizing this as an opportunity for healing, you might find yourself lashing out or withdrawing emotionally, creating a cycle of hurt and misunderstanding. The challenge here lies in the willingness to use this reflection as a tool for growth rather than a weapon against oneself or the other. It requires immense courage to face these dark aspects of oneself and to engage actively in healing. However, if navigated wisely, this mirroring can lead to profound personal transformation and deepening of the relationship. Each person can evolve, not only individually, but also together, creating a dynamic where both partners support each other's growth and healing. This can transform the initial toxicity into a nurturing, supportive bond, turning the relationship into a powerful journey of mutual evolution and understanding. In essence, the reflection offered by your twin flame is a gift, albeit a challenging one. It holds the potential to unlock doors to deeper self-awareness and personal growth. The key is to approach these revelations with an open heart and a commitment to transformation, ensuring that the mirror of the soul becomes a gateway to a more enlightened self, rather than a source of toxicity. The twin flame connection is often described as two halves of a whole coming together, a cosmic union predestined by the stars. This romantic notion, while beautiful, can create an intense dependency on the presence of the other to feel complete. The paradox of separation is a core challenge in the twin flame journey, where the absence of one can feel like a gaping hole in the existence of the other. Consider yourself as a symphony, a complex composition of melodies and harmonies that create a unique piece of music. Your twin flame, in this metaphor, is a melody that harmonizes perfectly with yours, enhancing the beauty of your song. When they are absent, it's as if a key instrument has fallen silent, leaving the composition feeling unfinished, the orchestra out of sync. During periods of separation, whether physical or emotional, twin flames might experience a profound sense of loss, as if they've been severed from a vital part of themselves. This can manifest in feelings of emptiness, anxiety, or a deep yearning that seems to overshadow all other aspects of life. The struggle is akin to a tree in winter, standing bare and waiting for the return of spring to feel whole again. This dynamic becomes toxic when it inhibits the ability to function independently. The fixation on the absence of the twin flame can lead to neglect of personal responsibilities, self-care, and the cultivation of one's own life. It's as if the colors of the world fade to grayscale, and joy can only be found in the presence of the other. The key to navigating this challenge is to recognize that each twin flame is a complete entity on their own. Just as the tree in winter possesses the promise of renewal within itself, so too do we have the capacity for wholeness and fulfillment independent of our twin flame. It's essential to cultivate a life that is rich and full, with or without the other's presence. When approached with wisdom and self-compassion, periods of separation can enhance the twin flame connection, making the reunion all the more sweet. Like the tree that blossoms anew in spring, each twin flame can emerge from separation more vibrant and alive, bringing a renewed sense of self to the union. In the mystical dance of the twin flame relationship, the lines between deep connection and unhealthy dependency can blur, leading to a state of co-dependency. This phenomenon occurs when one or both partners rely excessively on the other for emotional support, validation, and even identity, turning the relationship into an emotional crutch rather than a source of mutual empowerment. Codependency in twin flame relationships is like vines that grow too closely around a tree. They may initially seem to support the tree, but eventually they can strangle it, stunting its growth and potentially toppling it. In human terms, this manifests as partners who cannot feel whole or satisfied without the constant presence and approval of their twin flame. Their emotional well-being becomes so intertwined that the individual sense of self begins to diminish. This dependency creates a cycle where personal happiness and self-worth are so linked to the relationship that any conflict or separation can lead to profound distress. Partners may find themselves making sacrifices that compromise their own values or needs, simply to maintain harmony or to keep their twin flame close. This dynamic can lead to resentment, a loss of personal autonomy, and a feeling of being trapped in a relationship that is supposed to be liberating and soulful. The toxicity of codependency lies in its ability to erode the foundation of what makes each individual strong and vibrant. Instead of each partner bringing their whole healthy selves into the relationship, they bring their needs and insecurities, using the relationship as a patchwork to cover these up. This not only stifles personal growth, but can also lead to emotional manipulation, passive aggressiveness, or an imbalance where one partner consistently gives more than they receive. The goal for twin flames should not be to dissolve their deep connection, but to transform it into a healthy interdependency. In an interdependent relationship, both partners maintain their individual identities and can function independently, yet they choose to connect and support each other out of desire, not necessity. This balance allows them to love freely and fully without fear of losing themselves. At the heart of overcoming codependency is the cultivation of self-love and the establishment of clear boundaries. By learning to value oneself and to communicate needs and limits effectively, twin flames can create a relationship dynamic that promotes mutual respect and growth. We romanticize the connection, painting over the cracks and ignoring the signs of discord. It's a delicate art to love deeply while also holding space for oneself, to give grace without losing sight of what is just and fair. Remember, even roses have thorns, and to ignore them is to risk being wounded by the very beauty we cherish. Unconditional love is often seen as the ultimate expression of affection and connection, especially in the context of twin flame relationships. It's a noble pursuit, loving someone beyond their flaws and in spite of their mistakes. However, when this concept is misinterpreted or taken to an extreme, it can lead to unchecked acceptance, where negative behaviors are tolerated and personal boundaries are overlooked. This can subtly transform what is meant to be a nurturing connection into a toxic dynamic. The danger lies in romanticizing the relationship to the extent that significant issues are glossed over. For instance, if one twin flame consistently disrespects the other's boundaries or engages in manipulative behaviors, labeling these actions as merely part of their journey or karma can prevent necessary confrontations and resolutions. This unchecked acceptance not only harms the individual, but can also stifle the growth potential of the relationship itself. This aspect of the twin flame dynamic becomes toxic when it inhibits healthy personal development and mutual respect. By letting too much slide, one might find themselves in a cycle of justification that perpetuates unhealthy patterns. This cycle can be particularly insidious because it's cloaked in the language of spiritual and emotional profundity, making it harder to recognize and challenge. The antidote to unchecked acceptance is the establishment of clear, healthy boundaries. These boundaries are not barriers to intimacy, but rather frameworks that support it. They help each person feel safe and respected, allowing the love between twin flames to be a force that uplifts rather than one that enables negative behaviors. Balancing unconditional love with practical wisdom involves recognizing that true love sometimes means saying no, setting limits, and even walking away if the relationship becomes harmful. It means loving the other person, but also loving oneself enough to demand a respectful and healthy interaction. It's about nurturing a relationship where both individuals are encouraged to grow and flourish, not just together, but also as individuals. The twin flame relationship, with its intense emotional and spiritual connection, can sometimes resemble a dance by the edge of a volcano, beautiful, mesmerizing, but potentially explosive. This volatility is not just a metaphorical expression. It can manifest in real, tangible ways that, if not handled with care, can lead to destructive outcomes. Twin flames often experience emotions on a scale that can be overwhelming. The highs are euphoric, making every moment feel like a celestial alignment. Conversely, the lows can be devastating, with conflicts and misunderstandings feeling like soul-deep wounds. This intensity is due to the profound connection shared, where each individual can feel the other's emotions as if they were their own. While this can deepen empathy and understanding, it also means that emotional conflicts can escalate quickly and intensely. The toxicity arises when these intense emotions are not managed with emotional intelligence and self-regulation. Without these skills, every disagreement or challenge can ignite anger, jealousy, or insecurity, leading to harsh words, extreme reactions, and behaviors that can hurt both parties involved. In the heat of such moments, twin flames might say or do things that are out of character, driven by the storm of emotions rather than rational thought. This can include verbal outbursts, impulsive decisions, or even physical expressions of frustration. Such actions, once manifested, can leave deep scars in the relationship, complicating forgiveness and healing. To mitigate the inherent volatility of twin flame relationships, it's essential to build a foundation of stability that can weather emotional storms. This involves establishing and respecting personal boundaries, communicating openly and honestly, and committing to mutual growth and healing. It also means recognizing when the relationship is veering into unhealthy territory and taking proactive steps to realign with the core values and goals that both partners share. In conclusion, while the volatility of twin flame relationships can be challenging, it also holds the potential for profound personal and relational transformation. By understanding and respecting the power of their emotions, twin flames can turn potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and deeper connection. Twin flame relationships are indeed a crucible, a place where the raw materials of our souls are melted and mixed to create something new and extraordinary. They are powerful, intense, and as rare as the most precious of gems. But like all precious things, they require care, attention, and respect. Remember, strength is not the absence of vulnerability. It is the presence of resilience. Work on your individual growth, cultivate conscious partnership, and together, you and your twin flame can become beacons of love, growth, and harmony. Your connection is a journey, not just a destination, and every step, every challenge is an opportunity to shine brighter together and as individuals.